In a move that has caught global attention, Russian President Vladimir Putin has arrived in Alaska for a rare face-to-face meeting with former U.S. President Donald Trump, sparking debate over the true intentions behind the talks. While the official agenda is said to focus on ending the war in Ukraine, political analysts and Ukrainian officials doubt the Kremlin has any genuine plan to stop the fighting. Nataliya Gumenyuk, a prominent Ukrainian journalist and head of the Public Interest Journalism Lab, told CNN that many in her country believe Putin's real goal is to pressure Washington into cutting military and financial aid to Kyiv, rather than seeking peace. She noted that after more than 3 years of conflict, there is no credible indication that Putin is ready to change course. The choice of Alaska as the meeting venue has stirred symbolism and suspicion alike. Once a Russian territory before its sale to the United States in 1867 for $7.2 million, Alaska's history is not lost on Ukrainians who see it as an ironic backdrop for a meeting between the two leaders. For some, it is a reminder that Moscow has lost territory before and can lose again. Before landing in Anchorage, Putin toured Russia's far east, including the remote Magadan region, in what Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov described as an extensive regional visit. State-run outlet TASS reported that Putin met local officials and inspected industrial projects before embarking on a long transcontinental flight that even saw him cross into 2 Fridays due to time zone changes. Trump, speaking to reporters before his departure from Washington, said he was confident Putin wants peace and predicted he would know within minutes whether the meeting would be productive. He hinted that if talks went well, peace could be achieved soon. The former president has repeatedly claimed that the Ukraine war would never have started if he had been in office in 2022, portraying his personal rapport with Putin as a decisive factor in averting escalation. However, battlefield realities tell a different story. According to the UK's Ministry of Defence and the US-based Centre for Strategic and International Studies, SISE, Russia still controls less than a quarter of Ukraine's territory despite years of fighting. The same reports estimate Russian military losses at over 1 million, making it one of the bloodiest wars for Moscow since World War II. These figures suggest that while Russia has inflicted devastation, it has failed to secure its primary territorial objectives. European governments are closely tracking the Alaska talks, aware that any shift in U.S. policy could directly affect their own security. Nigel Gould-Davies, a senior fellow for Russia and Eurasia at the International Institute for Strategic Studies, told CNN that European leaders are watching from a very anxious distance. The uncertainty, he stressed, is at its peak, and the summit's outcome could shape Europe's strategic environment for years. In an effort to stay aligned with Washington, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and European Union leaders held a virtual conference with Trump earlier this week. Diplomats say the call was aimed at ensuring that Kyiv's position remains clear before any private understandings are reached between Trump and Putin. The war has already transformed Europe's political map. NATO has expanded, welcoming Finland and Sweden after decades of neutrality. Military spending has surged across the continent, and public opinion in many countries has shifted toward a more defensive posture. Analysts warn that if the U.S. scales back support for Ukraine, Europe may face a heavier burden in sustaining the war effort, both financially and militarily. For ordinary Ukrainians, the Alaska meeting brings mixed feelings. Some hope for progress on humanitarian issues like prisoner exchanges, while others fear that behind-the-scenes deals could undermine Ukraine's sovereignty. Past diplomatic arrangements, such as the Minsk agreements, have often failed to stop Russian aggression, leaving a deep skepticism in Ukrainian society. Putin's visit is being viewed by critics as a tactical move, a chance to appear open to diplomacy while maintaining pressure on the battlefield. Western intelligence assessments, reported by outlets like Reuters and The Guardian, suggest that the Kremlin's military strategy remains focused on grinding attrition rather than swift breakthroughs, meaning the war could drag on regardless of diplomatic overtures. Meanwhile, Trump's approach has drawn both praise and criticism.